black male contrarians
Oh my God.
in this election process.
It wasn't that big of numbers, but still too big for it to be.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah,
Some
it
of the
was
shit that
unnecessary
we
numbers.
was on that make you go like something. But what you saying though? Just that fervor of you telling me how I gotta think, you telling me who I need to support, that'll make them niggas.
That's enough to resist.
One goal, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. And it's real niggas do real fucking things.
I'll say what drives me crazy is this notion of this talking point that you usually talk about, that Joe Biden has been in politics for 47 years and he really hasn't done anything, which is clear and total bullshit. And the one that they usually, well, you were in office for 8 years, Yeah, that's so much gaslighting because you Republicans made it hell for everybody for those 8 years. And you're probably going to try your best to make it hell for the next 4, cross the fingers. So by doing that, you're literally punching me in the face and telling me that I punched myself.
Yeah, like when the Senate took over, in Obama's years, there was a lot of things that Obama tried to get through. A lot of things had to go under the table, fly through by night shit because like Obamacare, that shit wasn't an easy pass. Because like Lauren, like L-Dub said, they stopped everything at the door. Mitch McConnell said it himself out of his own mouth that he would do everything he could to make Obama to be a one-term president.
Yeah, I remember that.
And guess who Obamacare helped? Poor people, black people.
Poor white people.
But it was a black man doing it.
Somebody black should run. It'd be different. There's nothing to lose. It'd be fun, man. It can't get no worse than it's been the past 100 years. I figured, why not take the risk? Everybody's afraid to run, though, because they know that even though it's 1982, it's still a risky business to be the first black president. You know, you have to give speeches like this. My fellow Americans, as the president, I feel we the people must get together and join hands. And you watch these people over there? I don't think they're too happy about this.
And a lot of people get caught up in these easy talking points like Barack didn't do nothing for black people. But when they don't take in...
It's a fake argument, though.
I think we often talk about it, man. People just thought we was going to have Malcolm X Obama in office. And the first black man to get in office would be able to just change black everything. America forever.
He going to make that bitch like, all right, y'all, your neighborhood go like 2K.
And they didn't take in that the way that government works, and especially for a black man, he couldn't even do half the things Trump did. Because they'd be like, look what Trump did.
Right.
Barack in no way, shape, or form could have gotten away with any of this shit that Trump does.
And we have to be intellectually honest about
Let's be real.
Me and my cabinet agree that area is definitely ripe for regime change.
All right.
But if I can be real about it.
Be real, son.
Real?
Be real, son.
Try to kill my father, man.
What?
And play that shit.
Say word, he tried to kill your father, son.
That nigga tried to kill my father!
Word to everything we love, we coming to see y'all, son.
I don't think no president could have pulled what Trump pulled. Like, if Trump would have pulled this shit in the 80s, I don't think it would have fly like that.
My nigga,
like,
any white man could have done that in this fucking country. But I know Barack Obama is the first black man to sniff the fucking office was not going to be able to do half the shit that black America wished and was expecting a black man in office to do. You got to be honest about, look, the first motherfucker in can't be the nigga that could burn it down because guess what? No more niggas getting in.
Right.
The thing is, it could be a black president one day, but you don't want to be the first one. I mean, second or third, that's fine, but that first nigga better watch out. I'm going to tell you that right now.
He was not a perfect president. We all wish he could have done.
No president gonna ever be perfect. That's a hard decision to make between lives and countries and money and decision and all that shit.
If you're expecting your president to be perfect, you're a fucking foolish motherfucker.
I give a nigga that speech that the Black Panther that your boy T'Challa father gave him. That boy to be king and to be a good man.
I want to be a great king, Baba. Just like you. You're going to struggle. So you need to surround yourself with people you trust. You're a good man with a good heart. And it's hard for a good man to be king.
I ain't gotta say nothing else.
You heard me? So I'm just saying, son. So it's like all these, like he had so many expectations, so much on his level, and all they ever want, and it's so unfair how because I get so frustrated, like when it be us. It be us tearing down Barack more than anybody. And I'm like, y'all, do y'all know the feat it was for that man to get there?
Just to even
the blood that had to be shed.
In this country, for y'all to shit on the first and the only one of us, if we get 10 down the line, then start judging and come at the niggas next. But you are fuck the nerve of us as black Americans to say anything. That dog, he had to be the best. He had to have the perfect family. He couldn't do nothing fucking wrong. He had to be the best in all ways, or they was gonna find a way to get that man out, if not killed. And yet we want to sit back here and ignore things that he did for general Americans. Obamacare helped out black people. Guess what? They be like, oh, he helped the gay people. Guess who are gay sometimes? Guess who are gay a lot? Black fucking people. So when you be like, oh, he only helped out gay people, there's a lot of black people that are happy they can get married now, you know?
I am queer, I am non-binary, and if I am not in your movement will not win.
To the churches, all the churches, we were sinners. To the government, at the height of McCarthy-era persecution, we were all subversives. To the police in every single state in the country, because every state had sodomy laws, we were all criminals. To the so-called mental health professions, we were all crazies, and most of us didn't dare come out of the closet.
Gay rights started not with white people, but it started with people of color, and it started from probably the most oppressed people in the country at that time. And oftentimes I think that's where a lot of these, protests actually really start, when people literally are pushed to the brink and they can't take it anymore.
Black love. Black love had to be more expansive than the hate in the world for us. And black liberation must be equally expansive, because you may not have known it, but I'm going to tell you now. If you are fighting for justice, if you are fighting for liberation, then you are fighting under queerness.
To sound smart, you only gotta be 5% smarter than a person you're talking to.
Come on, ooh, that's a bar, that's a fucking bar, nigga. I'm just saying, look at the perspective. Barack wasn't perfect. Nobody will be. That job is not set up for anybody to be the most honorable nigga. You gotta do shit that we don't ever fucking see. You know what I'm saying? All kind of shit that gotta go down. At the end of the day, perspective.
Didn't Obama let some niggas out of jail? Like by at least a couple thousand niggas?
Bro, he let out the most black motherfuckers out of jail, but they don't be talking about that.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, pardon a few thousand.
But it's not
and tell that, he was the only and the first and the only president to go and talk to them in prison.
Hi, I'm Chris Rock with a special message for white people. In times like these, you need a white president you can trust. And that white president's name is Barack Obama. Let's take a look at the facts. For the first 2/3 of his life, Barack Obama was known as Barry, which is the third whitest name on earth, right after Cody and Jeff. And these are the white people who raised Barry: Madeline and Stanley Dunham. They're so white they have to wear sunglasses because they're hurting each other's eyes. After college, Barry went into black neighborhoods in Chicago to try to organize people. How white is that? Black people don't go into black communities. We don't have to. We're already there. Look at it. Playing golf, body surfing, wearing mom jeans, dancing with Ellen. Barack Obama supports gay marriage. Most black men don't even support straight marriage.
If you think about how this country is beginning to change, everybody is in agreement with all the changes. Everybody doesn't even understand all the changes. You know what I'm saying? If you talk about how they got black men that are jealous of LGBT getting power because they feel like we're being slighted in the same way that white men think about black people. It's a funny thing, you know what I'm saying? The whole term of the social justice warrior, which honestly should be a positive thing, has now been deemed this negative. Oh, you just looking for likes, or you just fighting, you mad for no reason. You just a snowflake. You know, the snowflake term. All these things, like a lot of these terms of negativity is being used a lot of times against progressive thought, things that we should honestly be supporting, because some of, like we talking about the vocal minority, some progressives are extra as fuck at times. Some progressives are attacking at times when they probably shouldn't, aren't as understanding as everyone. So it's the radicals on both ends.
It's because one's fed up and one is just fucked up.
When put through MRI brain scans, it turns out that liberals are more likely to have a larger anterior cingulate cortex, which is associated with understanding and monitoring conflict, while conservatives have a larger right amygdala, which helps process fear and anxiety. And that makes sense, given the years of research that have shown people tend to become more conservative when they feel threatened or afraid. Studies have also found that conservatives and liberals employ different cognitive styles. Conservatives excel when it comes to more structured and organized problems or questions, whereas liberals tend to be more flexible and less likely to commit errors with questions involving conflicting information and requiring fast reaction times. They also experience pain in different ways, so much so that one study was able to predict who was liberal or conservative just by viewing brain scans of them looking at graphic photos containing mutilations. In this instance, liberal brains were more active in the S2 or somatosensory 2 region, which is normally activated when you're in pain, but also when you see someone else suffering. It's essentially scientific evidence for the bleeding heart liberal stereotype, which doesn't mean conservatives are uncaring, but that their minds just respond to graphic images differently. In America, this can explain how Democrats and Republicans perceive the world in fundamentally different ways. It's difficult to grasp how someone on the other side of politics thinks because we tend to overestimate the extent to which our opinions, beliefs, and values are normal. Psychologists refer to this as false consensus bias.
A lot of us aren't even educated on how to take in new information, on how to understand, because like an ignorant statement somebody made, man, the gay people taking over the TV. If you really took in how much TV didn't have straight people versus how much TV has anyone gay in it, that is a preposterous statement to make. And if you look at history about how much straight TV that media exists versus the newest version of gay media, the same thing if you see female heroes. You know what I'm saying?
You do got to keep pushing the narrative of. But the thing is, dog, those people, for the most part, you can tell them. You can literally put the paper in their face and say, okay, dog, this is the percentage of gay people that you see in TV and this percentage of straight people that you see in TV from this amount of time to this amount of time. And they'll still say, I still don't like to see this shit on the TV.
When you take in this growing disdain of female empowerment, of gay people in general, you know what I mean, of all these new ways that America is becoming. You know what I mean? People, you bring up some trash shit, people like, I don't know, it's close. You know what I mean? That America's changing, and even a lot of black men that would probably call themselves Democrats any other year is now looking like, man, I'm not really feeling where America going. You know what I mean? So when you have like the general consensus of like usually the progressives are on the blue side, and that's what Biden and Kamala kind of represent. You get what I'm saying? Some of them just have this slight push against it because at least Trump, like in a weird way, represents pieces of old America that they still like. Yes, we want to see this progressive thing happen, but some of that shit Trump's saying, I still in my old conditioning, some of us that look like us agree with, and then throw on how charming Donald Trump is to a certain degree when you talk about the, like, you know, like you talk about the rappers, you talking about how the rappers, how rappers like that gangster, that boss shit. A nigga like Trump represents a lot of what your average poor black nigga from the hood wants to aspire to be, or it was taught to aspire to be. So even if they don't quote unquote like Trump, there's something they still respect about Trump that will make them, even if they don't plan on voting at all, lean towards defending against the progressive. With this new thing that I don't.
It's that rebel. It's
the rebellious. Then you got everybody telling you better vote for Biden. You better vote for Biden. You better not vote for Trump. So then that's also that rebellious nature. Like, how you gonna tell me who to vote for? What to vote?
My name is Will, and not voting for Biden turned me white. Oh, yo, what's up, my fellow business associate? This was me before the election. Every celebrity, every politician, even my own family warned me that if I was black, I'd vote Biden. But I didn't listen. Then November 3rd, I woke up like this. Finger on the trigger, 2 shots on a pinger. Tinger, ginger, maybe, I don't know, shoot a ginger maybe. I used to be like you. Tried to get a haircut today at my favorite barber shop. He told me he doesn't cut lettuce. I don't know, maybe I'll do like a Sean King beard and hairline or something. Honestly, I don't know. Now when I holler at girls in the street, instead of thinking I'm a cool guy, they think I'm a friggin' homeless person. Yeah, what's up, girl? How you doing? Okay, sorry. Yesterday I did sensitivity training at work, and the girl tried to make me admit that I'm racist towards black people. Bitch, I am black! Sorry, I know I can't call girls bitches anymore without social repercussions. Try telling people you like Dragon Ball Z as a grown white man.
It's not even about the truth or the reality. It's just how a lot of motherfuckers feel. Yeah. And a lot of them can't even articulate how or why they feel this way. They're just reacting. And a lot of reactions is causing us to suffer in a way as a country and a society, because if they just pause to think and get out of their ego and get out of their pride and think of, look, the next man needs you, the next man needs you, the next woman needs you. You know what I mean? They would probably slow down and think, okay, it's like maybe I should. Maybe I should. Maybe I should.
One code, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. And it's real niggas do real fucking things.